frightened child, listen to me. Asking whether I fear death is like asking a traveler who has trudged uphill for 100 miles if he dreads the sight of a rocking chair. I am 108 years old. Do you understand what that truly feels like? It is like wearing a winter overcoat, drenched through, sodden, sagging, heavy with years, and you've had it on since 1918. Every dawn, it's as if the Almighty nudges my shoulder and whispers, "Hattie, put the coat back on." So I do. I wrestle my stiff fingers through the buttons. I haul that weight across the kitchen just to brew my coffee. I lug it down every hallway, into every quiet room. I carry it the way you carry your own shadow. No, I'm not afraid of taking it off. Some mornings I glance at the empty hook by the door and think, Lord, isn't it time to hang it there for good? You're afraid because your celebration is still in full swing. You're 40, 60, maybe even 80. The band is still playing for you. There are numbers in your phone, tickets in your drawer, plans scribbled on calendars. There's still that restless appetite for one more sunrise, one more kiss, one more chance. My celebration ended decades ago. I am the last guest sweeping confetti from the floor. My husband, George, gone 40 years now. 40 winters in a bed too wide and too cold. My eldest son, gone. The girls who used to jump rope beside me, gone. The physicians who once coached me toward health, buried beneath the very earth they studied. I walk through a town populated by echoes. I see faces in storefront glass that no one else remembers. I hear laughter in places where silence now lives. When I die, I won't be departing. I'll be returning. They're gathered somewhere beyond my sight. George is likely checking his pocket watch this very minute, muttering, "Hattie, you were always late." Now, hear me carefully. You tremble because you imagine death as a burglar, creeping in to snatch your hours, your memories, your unfinished plans. That is the imagination of the young. When you have weathered more than a century, you learn death is no outlaw, it's a librarian. It approaches gently and says, your loan has expired, the book must be returned. And if you truly read that book, if you bent its spine, stained its margins with tears, folded its corners, splashed it with coffee and rain, you do not resent handing it back. Your arms are weary from holding it so long. The ones who fear the end most fiercely are those who kept their volume untouched on a polished shelf. They were terrified to crease a page, terrified to smudge the ink, and when the librarian arrives, they realize the story was never lived, only preserved. That is the true horror, to leave this earth with pages unturned and a soul still shrink-wrapped in perfection.
That would be the true sorrow, child. My spirit, it's weather-worn, bruised, cracked open and mended with stubborn faith and sheer will more times than I could ever count. It's smudged with living, and I cherish it that way. Let me speak plain, no sugar-coating. People fret about suffering. They imagine the ending as something violent, something jagged. But here is what a century has taught me. The body is wiser than your worry. The Lord engineered it with quiet intelligence. When the appointed hour truly comes, the body recognizes it. It doesn't shatter, it softens. It lowers the brightness like a lamp at dusk. Sleep comes easier, appetite slips away, the clamor fades. That isn't failure, darling. That's kindness. That's the flesh whispering, "Hush now, we won't need all this noise where we're headed." So don't torment yourself over the crossing. The vessel knows how to dock itself. And I'll share something sacred. When my George was leaving this world, I held his hand. At the very end, his eyes opened wide, not with terror, with astonishment, like a man who just discovered he had been bracing himself for a storm that was never coming. He looked as though he'd stumbled onto a marvelous secret. If he could have spoken, I believe he would have said, "Hattie, all that worrying for nothing." He saw something, I am certain of it, and whatever met his gaze placed the gentlest smile on his face. I'm not telling you this so you rush toward the grave. I'm telling you so you race toward living. The only reason I can nod politely at the reaper is because I drained my cup to the bottom. I forgave who needed forgiving. I said I love you so often my family rolled their eyes. I chose the cake. I wore the bright red dress. If fear has you frozen, it's because some corner of your heart knows you're postponing your own life. Drop the grudges. They weigh too much for a coffin to carry. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Look at me, 108 years breathing. The only moment guaranteed is this one. Don't reach my age aching with unsaid words. Speak them tonight. Don't arrive here wishing you had boarded the train. Purchase the ticket. When you finally stand at the doorway the way I do now, hand resting on the knob, you don't want to be glancing backward, whispering, "What if?" You want your eyes forward, steady, saying, "I'm prepared." I grow tired more quickly these days. Conversation steals my breath. But when you hear that Hattie May has slipped beyond the curtain, you don't dare drape yourself in sorrow. Don't cry over me. Celebrate. Play some sweet jazz. Pass around berries and laughter. I won't be missing. I'll have simply stepped out of tight shoes that pinched too long. I'll see you again, but not yet. Take your time getting there. Take your time.